Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're jumping into a question of the day from Reddit. And this one, as you may have figured out from the title, is regarding a front of house manager. That means a manager that's looking after the front end of a restaurant. Title exactly is New FOH, front of house manager, seeks help with teenage employees. Now, the person's question is, the title says it all. I've had the unfortunate circumstance of walking into a restaurant management position where the majority of the hosts are 16 or 17. Admittedly, it's a damn nightmare, as I'm not a parent or a kid person. Pile on top of that, none of these kids give a crap about their job or actually doing it. They are mediocre at best, they don't listen, and they suck at customer service. But it's all I have to work with because most won't work for the crap money they get. The door staff is insanely important in any restaurant, and it kills me that I have these kids making or breaking the hours of service every day. I end up breaking my back trying to keep everything together while apologizing to the guests for the shit show hosts. How do I get through to them that their job is important? How do I get them to hustle during the rush instead of being on Snapchat? How do I get these kids to actually work when it's pretty clear they have zero motivation? I've tried talking to them and explaining they need to move faster. They don't. I've told them they need to get off their cell phones until I'm blue in the face. They don't. I've told them to move faster, to stay focused and do what they are supposed to do. They don't, and I'm about to kill someone's kid. Okay, restaurants actually is where I got most of my management experience, so I totally understand. Yes, the hosts, hostesses, door greeters, definitely a very important aspect of the restaurant. They set the tone for what the customer is going to expect. First, what I would do is I would establish what I'm able to accomplish with my managers, the general manager, the owner, and see where my limits would be. Am I able to terminate? Can I have everybody in for a required staff meeting? That would mean that they would be paid for in Ontario, it's minimum of 3 hours to come in off of shift. Get that stuff under control. Make sure that your direct supervisor or the owner knows the issues that you're dealing with, and then come up with the plan. What would the plan be? I'm glad you asked. Now that you're on my show, let me tell you. I get it. At 16, 17 years old, you were once there. Sometimes you don't give a shit. You just got to worry about maybe getting your cell phone bill. Maybe your parents are just trying to get you out of the house and get you to learn some responsibility, or maybe you actually have bills to pay. Maybe you want to go to school without having any debt. Maybe you want to buy a car. Maybe you want to, I don't know, maybe you want to have enough money to go out at night. At the end of the day, you need to know your staff and understand what is their reason for coming to work. From there, you have your staff meeting. Make it absolutely clear there's no cell phones to be used at work. Explain to them what you are willing to do. Does that mean that if you catch somebody, you're going to give them a write-up? Say so. Does that mean that if you catch somebody, you're going to give them a 3-day suspension without pay? Say so. Does that mean if I see somebody on their phone while on shift that they will be terminated on the spot? Then say so. Make everything really clear. Because here's the thing. I hear a lot about millennials or these kids and how they're hard to manage. And I can see where that can happen, partially because parents always try to give their kids what they didn't have, treat them better, allow them more responsibility. Some parents have gotten away from sometimes your kid needs a boot. You need to give your kid a boot. Now, as a manager, as a representative of a restaurant, it is not your job to babysit. It's your job to be fair and to be firm. I would set a policy in place and have all employees sign off that they know these are the consequences. And if termination is the way you want to go, and in a restaurant it's very high turnover, there's always somebody ready to do the job, that's what I'd go with. We're not talking about overly skilled professionals here. We're talking about kids that need to learn right from wrong, need to learn responsibility. So what I would think might happen is you come into work tomorrow and you see Joe on his phone and he's punched in on the clock and he's working the front door, terminated. That means that you might have to work the front door yourself as a manager to be the host. You might have to pick up the slack for the next 2 weeks of the schedule, but everybody around knows that the heads are starting to roll. I guarantee you the phones will go away. If they don't, next one, you're gone. Next one, you're gone. Is it tough love? Yeah, maybe. But as long as you were very clear as to what your expectations are and what the circumstances will be, let the heads roll. I did notice on Reddit, one person had a great idea of saying that if you weren't in a position where you could terminate, you are in a position that you can delegate. That person, he says here, I still remember the time my manager gave me some gloves and made me use a razor to scrape dried piss off the urinals. I swear to God, I'll never touch my phone again if that's what I have to do. Again, that's not a horrible way to go at things. Give them the jobs that nobody wants and make sure they're done. The other thing that another person suggested was a cart and stick. No, idiot. The carrot and stick. So the stick is beating them down, like you said, like the original poster said, yelling and talking until he's blue in the face, constantly repeating himself. That's using the stick. Use the carrot. When you notice somebody, just doing the smallest thing, you're in a restaurant. I know you can comp dinners. When you see one of your hosts going above and beyond, buy them dinner that night or an appetizer. I mean, they're not old enough to drink from what you're telling me, so definitely don't buy them a drink. But a little something, a little extra, just so that they know that you noticed, and then the other people are gonna know you noticed. I can't tell you how far that'll go, but it's a tough job. That's why not everybody's able to do it. So decisions have to be made. Definitely don't let 16, 17-year-olds walk all over you and tell you how your restaurant's gonna run. Make the decision. Maybe your heads have to roll. Anyway, I hope this helped. If you have a question, hit me up down below and I will try to roll it into these questions of the day. Right now I'm grabbing most of my material off of Reddit, but I would much prefer you coming directly to me in the comments below. If you are a restaurant manager, especially front of house, let me know, because that's my old stomping grounds. Okay, ciao.